Well, the Joker 2 trailer has dropped, and I have some thoughts, which I'm going to share in a second. But first, the reactions to it are kind of a mixed bag. But one particular group of people is desperately trying to will into existence that the whole first film was a setup to totally own the chuds. I'm not kidding. I found hundreds of people saying, aha, I love it now because now the first film now we know that it was all part of their plan and that the first film was supposed to set up all the incels and chuds, and now the second film's going to totally stick it to them. Some people live in a very delusional world. The overall response to the trailer, I'd say, was mostly positive. I think that there are people that have concerns about it, like I do. The fact that we didn't really need a sequel, but you could basically say that about any movie. The musical aspect of it, the fact that it's reported that there's 15 songs in the movie, which would equate to roughly 45 minutes of a 2-hour film, or an hour and 45-minute film would be a lot. Now, is it 15 entire songs? Are they singing it all? Is it a stupid Lady Gaga concert with a movie wrapped around it, or does it fit? And I can see Todd Phillips has already come out and tried to quell some concerns about it being, a more direct musical. But I love how a lot of these think pieces are already coming out. Remember the last time when the movie came out back in 2019, 5 years ago, Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix sparked an incel controversy because it's hopelessly hollow. Well, there is a lot of hopelessness out there, probably now more than ever. But that said, no, it wasn't. I remember there were people actually writing think pieces saying that, oh, well, this movie's going to cause someone to go do something terrible. They're trying to scare people out of going to the movie theater to see it. And the movie only made like $1 billion on a $50 million budget, roughly. Now they're doing the exact same thing for Joker 2. Jezebel, which is a feminist website, writes that the Joker 2 fandom will marry men's rights activists and internet's loudest girls. If there's anything more insufferable, the most insufferable thing, if there's a single thing that will keep me from paying money to see this movie, it's Lady Gaga. I think she's a terrible influence. I think the politics and the ideologies that she pushes are degenerate and disgusting. She can sing. I'm not going to pretend like she can't sing. Can she act? Meh. She's okay. I don't think she's terrible. I'm not going to be dishonest and say, like, just because I don't like her weird devil worship and all this kind of stuff, that she can't act. Certainly she is okay. She kind of plays the same role in everything, but I mean, so does Ryan Reynolds. But this article is like, we're talking about hordes of 4chan users purchasing tickets to the same cinematic event as Gaga stans who earnestly type out words, "Yas, Queen." Like I said, the more I see Lady Gaga, the less I want to see this film. But, I think Joaquin Phoenix, although he had a mixed reviews on his Napoleon performance, Joaquin Phoenix, sorry. He had mixed reviews of his Napoleon performance, but I thought he did great in the first Joker film. I got to admit to you a couple of things. One, if it's not woke trash, then it's already better than 95% of the stuff out there. I'll say that, whether or not it's a musical. There are a lot of movies with songs in it that I really like. I mean, Willy Wonka has always been, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka, one of my all-time favorite movies. There's plenty of singing in there, including iconic singing. There are a lot of Disney movies that are iconic that have singing in them. I don't think having music in them inherently ruins them. It's going to be about the balance. But, oh man, Lady Gaga just makes me want to vomit. Anyway, Joker Folie à Deux hits theaters in 2024, 5 years after the first film exploded in incel forums across the internet. Yeah, the movie had made $1 billion. Was that all incels? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? You know, no. You know, it made $1 billion and it was R rated. And it had a $62 million budget. Are all of those ticket buyers incels? So now when the second film comes out and you have your LGBT queen, okay, and it makes $1 billion, are you going to say it was incels again? Femcells? All that the press did the first time around was make people want to go see the movie more. And this time around, I don't think it's going to have the same effect. I think the $1 billion movie is fewer and far between nowadays. Not that it's impossible. Barbie, Oppenheimer, both did very, very well. You see, there was a lot about the original Joker in 2019 and the discourse ensconced in it that made me quite uncomfortable. Though the villain struggles with unemployment, social ostracism, and mental illness, the movie heavily focused on the male pain and aggrieved toxic masculinity within an economic system that simultaneously strips working class men of power and convinces them that women are marginalized. Convinces them that women and marginalized people, rather than capitalism and the patriarchy, are the source of their woes. I mean, that's one way to look at the film. I don't think that's true. But again, when you write for Jezebel, this is how you do. This is how you react. Again, is it just me? Let me know in the comment sections down below. As much as I love Joker, okay, and I love the character, I've kind of had enough. Harley Quinn, great character. Nothing against Margot Robbie, even though I didn't think her, there were hit or miss. Her performances as Harley Quinn, I don't think any of it was ever her fault. I'm kind of over Harley Quinn. There's so many more awesome characters in that universe that we could be seeing, and it's just Joker, Harley Quinn, Joker, Harley Quinn, Joker, Harley Quinn. I mean, how about a freaking Superman movie? Can we please? Oh, is it because it's a white male that is not an anti-hero? Is that why we can't get a freaking Superman movie? How about a Scarecrow movie? How about a Poison Ivy movie? How about a Bane movie? How about a Penguin movie? Although you saw some level of the Penguin in the Batman, which I thought was great. But again, even Batman, I'm like, man, I thought the Batman was pretty good. I like Batman. But can we get more characters involved? I mean, I think we all get the point. Yeah, Harley Quinn, ha 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 ha. Like, we already saw the definitive performance for the Joker, and it was 20 years ago. Okay? Not that although Joaquin did throw his hat in the ring pretty heavily in the first Joker film. Ultimately, it's still more Joker. It's still just more Joker. And I don't know. Mini rant. I guess again, the biggest point, the biggest thing is, can we have it not be some woke trash? As long as it's not woke trash, then fine, the movie can exist. I think taking the musical angle of it is going to it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be terrible. It feels like there's not going to be a lot of in between. But you see what? I hate to sound like a neolib preaching civility in the world as the world burns. We're all just going to have to learn to get along, at least for like the 2-hour duration of Joker Folie à Deux, because my God, we are talking about hordes of 4chan users purchasing tickets in the same cinematic event as Gaga stans. If you consider yourself a stan, you have no direction in the world. And you see a lot of people Grace Randolph said she's very nervous about the ending of Joker 2. She said she's comparing Gaga's looks to Margot Robbie. She says that it's sexist because people don't compare attractiveness in men's roles. That's kind of true. I think that's kind of true. Although, if you really think about it, look at all the criticism that Robert Pattinson got, whether or not he looked like Batman, right? Anybody that's ever played Superman has to endure you look like Superman. When Henry Cavill played Superman, everyone's like, yeah, he looks like Superman. So that's probably not always true at all. And by the way, it's again, whether or not you look like Joaquin Phoenix or Harley Quinn, or you look like Superman, or you look like Batman. It's not necessarily whether or not you're ugly. I mean, a lot of people think you're a man, like Lady Gaga. Okay? Also, if Todd wanted Gaga to be for the male gaze, he could do it, but his goal is bigger. Okay. I'm hyped for the Joker 2 trailer out today. Flashback to when I was featured on E! News. Retweet to make an incel angry because I ruined their Joker culture. Okay. Maybe the Lady Gaga fans can just keep this movie, right? Curious about all the people who labeled Joker a dangerous incel movie are now excited about Joker 2 because Lady Gaga's in it. Like, someone committing a terrible act is horrible if they're single and lonely, but if it's a couple doing the same thing, that's beautiful. Well, I would reword that and say, if a woman does it, it's empowering. If a man does it, it's incel energy. The way Joker 2 is going to make Harley the abusive one. Oh, the ultimate incel movie is coming. If Joker 2 is 75% less incel and 75% more camp jukebox musical, I guess I can get excited about it. Well, if it's 75% camp jukebox musical, I'm 0% interested in it. It could be for someone. You know, if you like musicals, you like that kind of stuff, that's cool. It's just not for me. And then you see this deranged take. Joker 2 is actually so genius. Like the concept of taking this famously incel-loved movie, adding Lady Gaga to the sequel as Harley Quinn, plus making it a musical, thereby securing its legacy as one of the most troll films to ever come out of this decade. Incredible. Yeah, that was their plan all along, to create a film that is set to, that the entire existence was just to set up a second film to laugh at men. That's Palestinian flag in the bio has to say. What do you think about Joker 2? Obviously, the reactions to it, something like 400,000 thumbs up. I think there was like 10,000 thumbs down. The thing's 11,000 thumbs down. Most of the comments are positive. You know, to me, for my personal reactions, to it, Joaquin looks like he's in top form. The musical thing does not appeal to me. I'm going to have to probably see the second trailer. It's not like I'm not going to watch the movie. Unless something else happens. But the difference is whether or not it's mostly musical and whether or not it's dumb. Whether or not I'll see it in the movie theaters. What do you think? Are you going to go see this movie October 4th, or are you going to wait for the reviews? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.